When I was younger and went to film school, we once had a task to write an idea for a documentary film. I proposed going around a city, asking people how they disappear, and later connecting all their stories into a collage of disappearance. The teacher, a well-known documentary director, told me he thought my idea, and I quote, was shit, and that he didn't understand anything from my proposal. People don't disappear, that's a fact. And this is a documentary class, he said. So I buried that idea deep down, back with all the other thousands of ideas. 12 years later, Alma invited me to be part of the faculty for a new Yiddish program called Generation J, and a year after that, she invited me back for the second time. There was something so inspiring about the community and atmosphere we built together. Without a doubt, it's the most inclusive group I've ever encountered and been a part of. In the mix of nurturing freedom, respect, openness, safety, curiosity, and acceptance, I suddenly remembered my idea from film school and decided that this is the place to put it to the test. I Think I Saw You is a podcast dedicated to exploring our human disappearance. Every episode features an interview with a different person. In this season, I recorded the participants and faculty members of the program Generation J, each of whom reflected on their own thoughts and experiences of disappearance. Alma sits in front of the microphone. She's the first one to lay the cornerstone, and while so many contributed to the unique spirit of this community, it was also her guidance that allowed it to reach its fullest potential. I think I saw you, Alma, right when you disappeared. Interview number 10.
I'm not sure I'm thinking about a moment now that I didn't maybe feel fully seen, but seen in some way, in an unexpected way. And that was actually a couple of days ago. I've had a long kind of conflict with my parents about me being trans and them finding it difficult to accept that and to really understand why and what was happening with me. And that's been going on for a couple of years. Over the past weeks, I accompanied my mother dying, taking care of her, and in the process of that, I also got much closer to her, of course, and also to my father, who I've had a difficult relationship with for a really long time. And then I decided to leave 2 days before the funeral to be with myself and be with people who I love before I go back to my family. And on the way to the train station, my father kind of told me, "You have my blessing," and I'm completely standing behind them, calling you Alma. I don't feel like that's the end of our process with this, but it's a beginning, and I really felt seen, not so much, also, of course, in my identity and who I am and what's important to me, but also that over all these years, I didn't give up on that relationship. And I feel like in that moment, he responded to that and acknowledged that was still there and that he also wanted to build on that relationship. After I was coming out as trans, I had a lot of issues with being very visible. There's also this day that we celebrate, Trans Day of Visibility, and I've always felt very strange about it because, especially in the beginning of me coming out, visibility was something that I really didn't want, that really caused a lot of anxiety and also violence. being seen in the street and being stared at and being harassed and called names and so on. I had just a really rough time after coming out with the public and with like the reaction of the public to that. And I was really sensitive to like every pair of eyes that was falling on me and like really noticing everything in my environment. And I wanted to disappear a lot. And then I figured out that actually I could. I figured out that if I would ride the bicycle everywhere and not walk and just like hop on my bicycle and ride somewhere really fast and get off my bicycle and go where I wanted to go, that just really decreased the time that I was visible to people. I was just, too fast for someone to like think about what gender I am and, I don't know, get irritated. And that really helped me. Yeah, making that disappearance move and just be too fast for these binary eyes. When I feel like I succeed in disappearing and not being kind of seen as something that's strange to people, there's both sadness that I kind of have to do that I don't feel like I can hold being seen as strange and having to disappear and not be kind of with, pride visible. But there's also strength in it, that I feel powerful and in control, that I can just be with myself and don't have to worry about what's happening in the outside. And over time, I just also developed, I think, this kind of shell around myself that I don't notice it so much anymore. And there are days when I'm not in such a good place and I can't hold up that shell, and then that's all kind of coming to me and overwhelming. But on most days, I'm fine. And I can go through the world like that without having to spend so much thought and energy and worrying about how I'm seen, and being able to like walk through the world in confidence. In that place of disappearance, I don't want to be with anyone else, because it's not a beautiful place. It's a place of hiding. It's a place of flight. It's a place of, like, in an ideal world, I wouldn't want to be in that place of disappearance, but I would just, want to be visible and seen. Yeah, and so maybe I also want to tell people who feel like that their visibility is hurting them and that their visibility feels painful for them, that our bodies are also figuring out ways to protect us. And that it's often also a matter of time to develop these tools and skills of like how you deal with it and how you manage to still be in the world and not having to hide. My name is Alma, my pronouns are she and they, and I'm an activist, and I also really passionate about creating community. So I'm the project manager of Generation J, which is a Yiddish youth camp. Yeah, and it's become also a big part of my life and a big part of what I do.
I Think I Saw You is created, produced, recorded, designed, and edited by me, Eyal Davidovitch. Original music was composed and performed by me as well. Mixing and additional sound design by the miraculous Jan Brett. The podcast is supported by Paideia, the European Institute for Jewish Studies in Sweden. You can find more content on Art and Time Machines on Instagram, and it would be awesome if you could help spread the word about this podcast.